Hey, Ursula here. Today we're looking at a potato harvest. We had probably 30 to 50 containers of potatoes, and I thought I'd show you guys what's going on with that. That one is still green. It hasn't really died out, although some of the other growth in the same bag is done. You can see the dead leaves hanging out of that bag. I'll probably harvest that in the next week. It is finished. I'm gonna say, there we go. That one's done. That one is pretty much done. So these will need to get corralled and then dumped out. And if they're a red potato, they're easy to see. If they're a blue potato, it's a little harder. So let's see what the other ones are doing. All right, these have already been harvested, and I've replanted additional things in them for fall. If they were tiny potatoes, I thought, well, maybe we'll get a second crop. We might not. And I've got them labeled. This one is French fingerling. That's a piece of grass. This is a red potato. That is a tomato coming up. Whatever I got for soil, they composted tomatoes in them, and the seed was still viable because I've got tomatoes coming up everywhere. All right, one of the reasons I'm doing this is we have an abundance of shrews this year, and they're in everything. They're eating seed. I can't grow lettuce in the ground from seed. Nothing can be direct seeded. So I'm growing as much stuff as I can in pots for fall, for a second crop. These are beets. These are yellow beets. Yellow beets don't germinate quite as prolifically, although the tomatoes are doing really good here. More tomatoes. That's supposed to be a red potato. So all of these are in case there's a second crop. And then these back here have yet to be harvested. This one is ready to be harvested. This one is not. This one is. You can see the difference. We've had a bit of drought. This is as a result of the drought, and also I think this one came from a seed swap. So I'm thinking they put too many potatoes in the bag for the amount of soil it has. So even though I'm expecting a good harvest from this bag, I don't know. I don't think it has enough oomph. That's a technical term, oomph. You can look up the word tilth and see what it says. That's what they don't have. So this guy's done. That guy is growing tomatoes, so that's probably done. It says it's a blue potato. I've got, the reason there's spoons, I don't advocate the use of plastic in anything, but these have spoons because I do food demonstrations, and before COVID, and have thousands of plastic spoons, so it was what I had. So let's take a look. We're going to take a walk up the driveway. This one I'll probably harvest tonight. That one I'll wait a week. We'll see how that does. So far I haven't eaten any of these, although they're tempting. These are the red potatoes. These are the French fingerlings. And these are the blue potatoes. Now let's go take a look at some potatoes that aren't ready to harvest. All right, this is the fire ring. I had some store-bought potatoes that had turned green, and I planted them in here. I did harvest some. I got a small bowl full, but for the most part, these aren't ready yet. I did plant some basil in here and some Brussels sprouts. And then there's also an amaranth in the back. And that theoretically in there is a cantaloupe plant, but nah. I don't really think we're gonna get anything out of that. All right, the shrews have undermined all of my blocks, and they're every which way. And also the weeds have kind of taken over, but the shrews have been coming and going through gaps like that and have totally undermined any leveling and or straightening I had done of these. What I've got going on up here is mostly beans at this point, and I've got the wire going across to keep the deer from eating the beans. I have purple beans over here. That's a summer squash. I have cabbage in here. These are yellow beans. This is a perennial that's going to seed. I still have some lettuce. This is pigweed. This does not need to be here. These potatoes aren't ready yet. Although it looks like if I had radishes in here earlier this year, they went to seed. So that's why you're seeing radishes. Cabbage has got a late start, but they're looking good. So there you have it. That's what we've got going on right now. More potatoes to come. Okay, this is the jungle. This is the horseradish. And I've totally neglected this entirely back here. I had potatoes planted in the front. I have no idea. And there's also potatoes in the back, and these were Austrian crescents, so I will have to dig up this entire bed and see what's here. The only thing I got going on right now sunflowers, and the finches are loving it, the bees are loving it. I could sit here all day and watch these guys, but they're really enjoying these. The squirrel planted these. This is the squirrel's garden. So there you have it. Another day in the books on potatoes. We'll get a final tally after everybody else is harvestable, maybe in another month. Take care, everybody. Happy gardening.